See, here it's a significant matter of concern that we can think about, like the Twitter message broadcasted by World Health Organization by Dr. Tedros refers that the statement given by Dr. Tedros as we are also working with FIFA.com to promote physical activity, healthy diets, and other elements of healthy living to the World Cup audience, with pitch size advertising board, videos in Standia and fan zone, extensive messaging on television and social media, and more. If we decipher the encoded message, it is elaborated as like a WHO endorses the organizing FIFA World Cup, means the football World Cup, right? And his like WHO suggests that like if the World Cup is being organized, then you should promote physical activity, healthy diet, and adoption of other healthy behaviors, right? So if WHO is endorsing the organizing World Cup, FIFA World Cup, it means it's an official declaration of the closure of the pandemic period, because as per the observations of the WHO, like there are end of the pandemic periods. The another message. Think for another message this one. Lessons learned from the FIFA World Cup will also be shared with the Olympics Committee to support preparations for the Paris 2024 Olympics and the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics in 2026. Dr. Tedros. So here, if the FIFA World Cup will be organized with adherence of the prescribed guidelines for adoption and promotion of healthy behaviors, so the relative outcomes obtained after the accomplishment of the after the completion of the event, and the outcomes would be shared with Olympic Committee, right? And the Olympic Committee will observe the given reports regarding organized FIFA World Cup, that how audience participated and what were impact on their life, how they observed or adhered the promoted behavior for physical activity, obedience of healthy diet, and other health precautions that ought to be promoted by organizing such World Cups for playing for crickets, where a dozen of players plays and thousands gather to watch and recreate. What about its further impact? Another things that WHO promotes that the same reports will be shared with for organizing Paris Olympic 2022 2024 and Milano Cortina Winter Olympics in 2026. So in this manner, like the organization aim to uh, um, ensure supportive supervision for ensuring adherence of positive healthy behaviors, right? The next news, the by WHO, like WHO Goodwill Ambassador Alison Baker, Brazil's goalkeeper and former Ivory Coast striker Didier Drogba will be supporting our work. WHO had what we can say uh, nominated Mr. Alison Baker as Goodwill Ambassador. He is Brazil's goalkeeper, right? And the goalkeeper will promote the message about obedience of healthy behavior among the audience or sports committee. Okay, this is related with this one. The next one, finally, on Monday, WHO released an update of its family planning handbook. For about its family planning handbook means WHO suggests that Now it's time that people could observe the copulation and child rearing behaviors with obedience of other healthy behaviors, because these things were obstacle due to the ongoing pandemics across the globe. Again, finally on Monday, WHO released an update of its family planning handbook, which provides health workers and policymakers with the most current information on contraceptive options. If if you fear about the vulnerabilities, then vulnerabilities of infections, then you can pursue for other contraceptive options that could help you to ensure proper contraception for your family planning. Means it's also a positive indication. Another broadcast like this new edition details measures for healthy workers to protect access to family planning service during emergencies. Dr. Tedros mentions here, right? The next one, like during the initial phase of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, approximately 70% of countries reported disruptions of family planning services because people were fearing, even though they were fearing for their life, and they did not entertain their living partners or their counterparts, that and this child rearing practices decline, because if we are reaching 8 billion population, the population statistics analyzed by the World Health Organization could interpret the deviation of the what we can say child fertility CFR, total fertility like TFR, and all those things. So it's an indication that WHO assessed and promotes that now, like after it's an impact assessment 2022, what had happened 2021, then 2022. It's been almost 2 years, and how this pandemic affected the trends of child rearing across the globe. The serious concern were noticed by world organizations, and now WHO promotes for continuation of child rearing, or practicing safe sex with their partners, and use of contraceptions. So again, it aims that that during the initial phase of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2022, approximately 70% of countries reported disruption of family planning services, increasing the risk of unintended pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections, because people were in hesitative manner, and there were certain factors associated with its what we can say proper management. So it's also a good news. Another one about the updated handbook includes recommended actions for wider access to self-administered contraceptives, including injectable contraceptives, which only need to be taken every 2 to 3 months. The news given by WHO. Another one about we urge all countries to adopt these recommendations. When all people have access to contraceptives, unintended pregnancies can be prevented, and people can plan their lives and families. So these are the positive indications. Another thing, small acts of kindness can make a world of difference. Tell us about a time when someone made you feel included in the comments below, on World Children's Day. The news broadcasted by UNICEF, it promotes that now it's time to initiate a gather approach. Great Greet your family members, your beloved one. Ask about their whereabouts. Tell them about the informations related with the obedience of healthy behaviors. Help them to observe healthy behaviors. Explain the narratives or the encoded message about obedience of healthy behaviors, and return return or resume your normal life for styles and normal functioning, so that you can manifest the livelihood. and liberty. Another like UN Geneva reiterates that World Food Program Ethiopia conveys just entered northwest Tigray via Gondar corridor for the first time since June 2021. Critical relief food will now be delivered to the communities in my Sberry town in coming days. More food, nutrition, medical cargo will follow immediately via all routes possible. So it's an indication that the same trends could be observed because it's a piloting like W World Food Program emphasizes on resumption of delivery of essential health and nutrition products across the globe. The piloting demonstrated with the context of Ethiopia and related aspects for disaster management for delivery of relief food. So where all routes possible, it means that immediately resume normal functioning of your business, your trade through oceanic ways, through like land ways, and through like airways. If it will be resumed, then the global economy will what we can say align with its required pace so that the vulnerabilities of the global system as it had happened in 2020 in 1929 could be reduced. There are indications about resumption of normal functioning of the governance across the globe as news are being broadcasted as UN Geneva reports this. Another news broadcast from UN, as UNESCO today marks the anniversary of the signature of the UNESCO Constitution in 1945. It is in this historical document that the reason for our existence is a five-letter word: peace. Thank you, sir. And UNESCO understand the real significance and essence of obedience of UN Charter that promotes the that promotes institutionalized functioning for administration of the required what we can say protocols for negotiations regarding commencement of trade and other development. So these are the good indications, good news is broadcasted through this international interface and the associated uh, what we can say associated action plan need to be implemented. So these are the following indicators associated with its proper planning. Another news is broadcasted there are news broadcasts दलित के लिए जो डरेगा देश उससे ही तो जुड़ेगा. It's about working for the cause of the deprived, marginalized, and those who had been outcasted from the mainstream of the society. Their social inclusion need to be promoted. So these are the things that is being promoted through these activities. Good indication. Another news broadcast on this Twitter from Chaudhary tweets that साहित्य आज तक लौट आया है like there are return of the what we can say literature and there are something good as they tends to uh, ensemble or gather on 18, 19 and 20 in Delhi. There will be certain discussion and it's like a conception of the disseminated message about promotion of community gathering. These are the good indications that was broadcasted, that was received, and the communication channel concludes. There are other news that it could be implemented like NATO discuss Poland blast. Like what were the reason behind this blast? Add races Tigray cities like tracking for net zero goals and the news broadcast is related with 27 conference of the parties. The daily brief will include a special section dedicated to development at the climate conference because the event will continue by 18th and the associated factors will manage its related concerns. In this manner, how it